Drum brakes aren't as common as they used to be, but plenty of cars still have them. If yours does, you'll want to know the signs that the drums are wearing out. In this video, we break down what to look for when drum brakes go bad, how much it'll cost to replace them, and how to test if they're still doing their job right. It's the Car Problems YouTube channel. Subscribe and let's get started. Noise when braking. One of the first signs your drum brakes are acting up is noise, usually a loud scrape or grind when you hit the brakes. That happens when the brake shoe's lining wears down and the metal part starts rubbing against the drum. Sometimes it's not the shoes, though. Loose or busted hardware, like the retaining springs, can rattle around and make noise too. And if dirt or tiny rocks sneak into the drum, they can cause all sorts of weird sounds. Decreased braking power. When your brake shoes and drums wear down, it gets harder to slow the car down. Without enough friction material, the brakes can't grip right, and stopping takes longer. That distance keeps growing the more things wear out. Better to fix it early, before you end up planting your bumper in someone else's trunk. Parking brake issues. Your parking brake works with the rear brakes, so if those drum brakes are worn out or failing, the emergency brake might not hold the car like it should. You might notice it rolling a bit or not staying put on a slope. But here's the catch. It might not be the drums. Sometimes it's just the parking brake cable needing an adjustment. That's why it's worth digging deeper to find the real issue. Uneven braking power, huh? If your car's pulling to one side, bad drum brakes could be part of the problem. But honestly, it's not always the first thing to blame. Brakes usually wear down evenly, so if they're shot, you'll feel it all over, not just on one side. You might actually be dealing with a suspension issue or tires wearing uneven. Whatever the case, don't ignore it. Get it checked so you're not fighting the steering wheel just to keep things straight. Vibrating brake pedal? If your brake drums get warped or out of round, they won't press evenly against the shoes. That means the shoes hit some spots harder than others, and you'll feel a vibration in the pedal. Drum brakes don't pulse like disc brakes do, though. Pads and rotors tend to shake more. Still, if you feel that vibration, it's time to have the drums machined smooth or replaced before it gets worse. So, let's talk about a soft or spongy brake pedal. If the brake drum's worn out or cracked, you might feel a soft, spongy pedal when you press down. Honestly, that kind of issue doesn't pop up too often. Drums don't usually crack. What's more likely is there's air caught in the brake lines. That air messes with the pressure, and the pedal goes all mushy. To fix it, you'll need to bleed the system and push that air out so the brakes bite like they should. So, how do you test the brake drums? If you want to check your brake drums yourself, you won't need much gear. Just follow these steps. Jack the car up and set it safely on stands. Take off the wheels and pull the drums. Careful, if you just drove, those brakes might still be hot. Look at the wheel cylinders and linings. If you see fluid on the backing plate, figure out if it's brake fluid or grease. Brake fluid can be washed away, but you've got to track down the leak. Check the brake, shoe, lining, thickness. If it's 1/8 inch or thinner, time for new shoes. Look over the drum's surface. If it's got scoring or grooves, you'll need to get it machined or replaced. Keep your service manual close and stick to the specs the manufacturer gives. Follow their extra advice too. And here's the honest truth. If you're not familiar with drum brakes, let a pro handle it. We've seen too many folks try to fix their own brakes and end up with trouble that's worse than what they started with. Replacement cost. Let's break it down. Replacing brake drums usually runs you between $225 and $375. Parts alone go for around $150 to $250, and labor adds $75 to $200. If you know your way around a toolbox, you could do the job yourself and save a few bucks. Always swap the drums in pairs. If one side's shot, the other ain't far behind. That keeps braking smooth across the axle. While you're in there, consider replacing the shoes and cylinders too. It's easier to do everything at once. Prices can vary based on your car's make and model. Luxury rides have pricier parts, and tricky setups mean more labor. Aftermarket is cheaper, but might not last or fit like factory gear. Good news is, drums don't wear out fast. Most last up to 200,000 miles if you treat them right. When buying a kit, make sure it's got all the hardware you'll need, or plan to grab those pieces separately.